So I graduated with a master's degree in computer science in May of 2024, and I went to Arizona State University. And really, my last year of college, I essentially isolated myself. I was 5 minutes away from the bars, just like walking there. And I think I maybe went like once the entire year, but I was literally waking up at like 5 a.m. I would go, there's a big ass mountain called A Mountain, go run up and down. I would wake up early, go to the gym. Me and my friend used to spar. I used to literally just play chess like all day. That was pretty much just my favorite hobby. And graduated from school, went to my parents' house, and pretty much nothing changed. I just kept doing the same thing. I would go to the gym, go train, just fucking play chess all day. I started getting into business, but yeah, essentially I would start playing video games as well because like dude, I was working a job and didn't have like fuck all to really do. And so all that to say, essentially for 2 years, like I had like a couple friends, but that I would see in person every now and then. But for the most part, I was pretty much isolated, except for like maybe if I would go to like the Muay Thai class. But aside from that, like I didn't really have any actual genuine connections with too many people. And I think from the perspective of like self development, I was essentially in what you'd call monk mode, right? Which I've come to realize is just complete bullshit. I think for me, it's just a lot more comfortable to not have to actually go out and socialize with people, like me just staying in my crib. Like I can justify it as I'm just obviously, bro, working is like still the most important thing, making money, but like justify that as like, okay, well, I'm just focused on this so I don't have to go be social. And I don't know if you guys know who FitX Fearless is, but I used to watch these clips of him just pretty much trying to help these people improve their lives all day. And I kind of came to the conclusion that really, in terms of self improvement, to be the best version of yourself, you really need to maximize your health, your wealth, which are just obvious, but then also relationships. Sorry, I got a message, but yeah. And I would say I probably around January of 2025, I started to get a bit fed up being at home because obviously I'm at home with my parents. Also, my grandparents are there. They're very old. They can't really even open the fridge and they don't even speak English. So you're just fucking killing the vibe a bit for me because I'm like thinking, dude, I'm like in my prime. Like I need to get out of here, bro. I felt like I was pretty much cooking myself like long term, and yeah, just started to get really fed up of just my general social situation. I'd say that's the biggest reason that drove me to actually wanting to move out and move to Chicago. And in April of 2025, I moved. So I was in my hometown of Chandler, Arizona, and I moved to Chicago. And I actually, I moved in with a friend. So he had a two-bedroom apartment, and he was super chill about letting me come in, let me like live in one of the rooms for way cheaper than I should have been living in it. And this was kind of my first step in terms of actually moving out. Now, like after you properly move out and just rip the band-aid off, it's just like holy shit, that was such a no-brainer. I should have just done that shit. Like I'm fucking stupid for not doing that earlier. But I think I actually did just leave home at a good time. But yeah, I went out, and actually it's interesting because I remember going out here with, because obviously, I still had really big goals in terms of health, wealth, like that's always been there. That's not going to change. But I remember socially, I was like, cool, I want to push myself socially. I want to I remember literally thinking, because I was watching these videos where he was talking about like when was the last time you actually approached a girl. And in my head at the time I was like dog, I actually I can't really name a time in even like the past ever. Ever. I was like, bro, holy shit. I'm actually he was roasting these idiots, and I'm like, I'm actually one of these idiots right here. Like pretty much. I'm like, alright, bro, like I gotta change something. So I pretty much made it the goal to, I think I said I wanted to get like even just get rejected like 50 times. At least knowing that I'm trying, right? And I came out here and nothing really changed, but I will say in the sense of me starting to transform myself and starting to put myself out there a little bit more, started to change. Like, I know this sounds weird, but even me growing a beard, me even like using a dating app, I know that sounds like some basic ass shit. That's not something I would have done at my hometown in Chandler, because I just wanted to seclude myself so much and just not expose myself to anything. That was like the identity that I was like kind of tied with there. And so I didn't, like, I'd say the first year really didn't push myself socially. I maybe made like one friend. I started going to a chess club, but um I was still pretty similar. I think still though, like, going out was a fucking great decision, cuz dude, even just like walking around in a new city, I was like, thank fuck, bro. Just like looking around, like, thank God. And actually, it's interesting because what happened is, um, I actually did, like, I hopped on whatever dating apps. I was able to like start going on some more dates. It still wasn't like anything crazy, and even still, like, socially, it wasn't amazing. But I was making really good progress, wealth wise. Like, that's always just again been the primary focus. But I think something about being in a city as well is that there are so many people to talk to, so many people, and I really actually started to. I would say this was maybe earlier this year, actually. So almost about like a year of being out here, I actually started to get really fed up with the fact that there are so many opportunities around me every day, and I do not have the competence, or I don't know if competence is the right word, but I just didn't have the ability to talk to any strangers. I didn't even realize that was like really a possibility. So even in these past 6 months, um, I have just really been pushing myself socially. I've been going up, approaching people just in my day to day. I've actually been going on dates, just literally just from cold approach. And I know that sounds pretty basic, but I literally did not. I didn't even think that was possible at first. I was like, I actually genuinely saw other people doing it, and I literally thought that shit was like, not scripted, but it just seemed like, it seems like some shit that it's just not possible for you. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, bro. Like, I saw other people doing it, but I didn't actually think I was capable of it. But I think really, and I definitely still have a very long way to go, but I think me moving to Chicago, the biggest thing that I wanted to actually gain was social growth. And because, like, wherever I'm at, I could be fucking anywhere. Like, I'm not gonna stop training. I'm not gonna stop, like, whatever, like, keeping my body in the best possible shape. I'm not gonna stop trying to get as rich as humanly possible. But yeah, when it really came down to socializing, it's just like, it pushes me out of my comfort zone, and I always just justify it that it's like, dude, I don't need to do this. Like, I'm whatever, I'm gonna focus on making money. And like, even an example of this, like, I actually walked up to this girl in a coffee shop, and usually I like to do like chill first dates. Like, I like to plan it, have like some control over like the logistics and everything. But pretty much ended up inviting me up. She ended up inviting me to this concert, and dude, literally the first thought that went through my head when she invited me to this concert was, I was like, whatever, send me the link, let's do it. But I was like, fuck, I really don't want to have to go to this concert. Fuck. And I started thinking about it, because I was like, it's going to be like really the reason behind it was because it was an unknown adventure into something that I really wasn't too familiar with. I was probably going to be standing, whatever, um, standing around like a dickhead in a crowd. I was like, ah, fuck. And ultimately, it's just self-sabotage, because it's like I literally want to push myself socially, which is going to be like going to more social things, just starting to say yes to more shit. So I ended up going. It was all right. I had an all right time, but I'm still glad I went, and I'm kind of just rambling at this point. But realistically, really all I want to say is, in this past year and a half of being out here, the biggest gain that I would say that I have gotten, and something that I've never really experienced before, is just pushing myself socially in terms of like confidence with talking to strangers in a day-to-day, being able to, yeah, being just like social confidence, I would say, is something that I've really been able to build by actually just moving out of my hometown and coming into a city. So, yeah, that's really been the biggest benefit for me. Because again, it's just like everything else. I'm gonna keep doing everything else. That's not gonna stop. But like when I'm in like the suburbs, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm just secluding myself. Yeah, I definitely still have a long way to go. But I think really the overall narrative of it, as well as like moving to a different city and changing my environment, has completely changed my mindset in general because of the just different opportunities I'm surrounded by. And yeah, it's given me the opportunity to actually put myself out there more, try different shit, and not really worry as much. I feel like when I was like at home, there's a certain identity that was like almost keeping me from like really, really putting myself out there and like pushing myself from a social standpoint, which is kind of weird, but I felt it, dude. I just felt like it felt wrong. If so, yeah, moving out of my hometown was one of the fucking best decisions I've made, and I, yeah, that's about it. I hope you all have a great night. Peace.